We know that Coulomb's law gives us the magnitude of the electric force between two charges, K Q1 Q2 by R square. Usually when we talk about the magnitude of the force, we take Q1 and Q2 with absolute value sign so that they are both positive values. But we will see now that we can rewrite Coulomb's law such that it gives us the force vector directly. Let us do that by first looking at two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance r. I am going to first take positive charges. Q1 and Q2 are going to be positive, plus 2 microcoulomb plus 5 microcoulomb. Positive and positive repels. So Q1 is going to push Q2. I am only going to focus on Q2 for now. So the force is going to be like this. This line is the line joining the two charges. So this direction is called radially outward. Radially outward direction on Q2. So it's going to be that way. How much will be the force? Well, if I try to calculate K Q1 Q2 by R square, I don't have to put the absolute value sign because both are positive anyway. So if I calculate, I'm going to get K into 2 mu into 5 mu by 3 square, which is going to give me 10 by 9 K mu square. Now is that the force magnitude? Yes, it is. So how much is the force? The force vector is K mu square into 10 by 9 K mu square, radially outward. Radially outward. So this gives us the magnitude and we know the direction is radially outward. Suppose now I make both the charges negative, right? So suppose I made it minus 2 microcoulomb, minus 5 microcoulomb. What will be the force direction? It will be still that way, right? It is repulsive. So it's still radially outward. And the magnitude comes by taking just the magnitude of this. So it will be 2 micro into 5 micro. But I don't want to do that. I want to write K Q1 Q2 by R square again. So this time I am going to write K into minus 2 micro into minus 5 micro by 3 square. Usually when we calculate, we would have put 2 micro, 5 micro. We don't put the minus sign. But now I am telling you to put the minus sign. And let's see what will happen. Well, minus into minus will become plus. And so you are going to get 10 by 9 K mu square. This is a positive value. So this gives us the magnitude of the force. So how much will be the force vector? It will be 10 by 9 K mu square radially outward. You can say, I shouldn't have put the minus sign, but it was okay because minus into minus cancelled out. But I don't want to think of this as a mistake. I am saying look at this as a pattern. Suppose I had one with a negative sign and one with a positive sign. Okay, one charge was negative, minus 2 microcoulomb, and one charge was plus 5 microcoulomb. Now it will not be radially outward. It is going to be radially inward. The force is going to be in that direction, right? It is an attractive force. The magnitude of the force will be K into 2 micro into 5 micro by 3 square. But I don't want the magnitude of the force. I want K Q1 Q2 by R square. I want to calculate this. What is this? So well, this is K into minus 2 micro into plus 5 micro by 3 square. This is going to give me minus 10 by 9 K mu square. I get a negative number here. Clearly this is not the magnitude of the force. So for the magnitude of the force, we take the magnitude and we say the magnitude of the force is 10 by 9 K mu square. So usually we'll write that the force vector is not this. It is the absolute value of that. 10 by 9 K mu square radially inward. But suppose I wanted to use it as it is. Then I can still rewrite this as minus 10 by 9 K mu square radially outward. How is that? The minus sign and radially outward, they combine to give you radially inward. What is minus of radially outward? Suppose I say minus of this direction, well that is that direction. Minus of that direction is this direction. So minus of radially outward is radially inward. So actually this and this gives you the same information. But there is an advantage there. Notice, whether I have two positive charges or two negative charges, one positive, one negative, I am always talking about radially outward only. Even in this case I am saying radially outward, except that this number here is not the magnitude of the force, it comes with a sign. It is giving you minus 10 by 9 K mu square. But then all these just came by calculating K Q1 Q2 by R square. So this is just K Q1 Q2 by R square radially outward. So in all cases I can write the force vector is K Q1 Q2 by R square radially outward. If Q1 and Q2 are both positive, this will be positive, so it will be positive radially outward. If Q1 and Q2 are both negative, negative into negative, that will still be positive, positive radially outward. But if one was positive, one is negative, this will become negative radially outward, which will be a positive magnitude force radially inward, right? It will become like that. So we can use this, but we have to use this carefully with Q1 and Q2 using the correct sign. If you use the correct sign, this is the force formula for all cases. Whether it is attractive or repulsive, we can always use this. This is very powerful. Because now we are no longer saying I need the absolute value sign, then I have to use positive, positive, repulse, attracts. I don't have to do anything. This gives me the force with the magnitude and the direction, everything all built in without my having to do a second step. See, otherwise what would happen? Positive, positive, radially outward, positive, negative, so it is attracting, so radially inward. I have to change all that. Now I don't have to do all that. This is giving me everything, all the information directly. So K Q1 Q2 by R square radially outward. That is the force vector. We can use this information and rewrite Coulomb's law in vector form. Let us now use what we have learnt to write Coulomb's law in vector form. I have Q1, Q2, two charges. This I am calling as the source charge. It is producing the force. That is the target charge on which the force is acting. Of course, Q2 is also going to act on Q1, but right now I am only interested in Q2. So I am saying that is the charge on which the force is going to act. It is going to act that way. Wait a minute. It's going to act that way if both were positive or both were negative. What if one was positive, one is negative? Doesn't matter. So for now I am going to say that is the force F, but the force vector in vector form is given like this. K Q1 Q2 by R square radially outward. That is the radially outward direction. If Q1 and Q2 are both positive, this will be the magnitude of the force radially outward. That will tell you the direction. If both were negative also, this will be the magnitude of the force and that will tell you the direction. But if one was positive, one is negative, this will be negative value, right? So this will be a negative number. So it won't give you the magnitude of the force, it will give you minus of the force. The minus sign and radially outward will tell us that the direction is actually inward, radially inward. Anyway, so we know that this is F vector. Now, this length I have written as R, but from the source to the target, if I call it as R vector, then this direction radially outward will be R cap, unit vector in the R direction, unit vector in the R vector direction. Okay, so that will be R cap. So this same statement can be written as K Q1 Q2 by R square R cap. So what is radially outward? R cap. That's all. For radially outward, I am using this R cap. But what is R cap? It is a unit vector in the R direction. How do I find unit vector? Take R vector and divide by the magnitude of R. Right? Magnitude of R vector is R. So what is R cap? R vector by R. So if I use R cap is R vector by R, that is R cap, I can write the force vector as K Q1 Q2 by R square into R vector by R. By the way, this is also a useful way to write. This is also a very useful way to write. Okay. But if you look at this, R square into R is R cube. So I can write it as K Q1 Q2 by R cube into R vector. R vector is, you can put it in the numerator or you can put it on the side. So K Q1 Q2 by R cube into R vector. Now please remember that when you look at it this way, it feels like it's a 1 by R cube formula, whereas this was a 1 by R square. But if R becomes 1000, this will become 1000 cube, whereas this will be only 1000 square. But remember that R vector is also going to be 1000 times, no? So that R and this R cube will cancel out and then you will end up with R square. So this is another way to understand it, because this is telling you unit vector. R cap has only length 1. As R increases, R cap's length does not increase, it's unit 1. Whereas R vector will also increase. So this may look like a 1 by R cube formula, but it is not, because there is an R in the numerator and there is an R cube in the denominator. So it is still 1 by R square formula. But this is very useful. This is a very useful way to think of it. K Q1 Q2 by R square, R cap, that is nothing, that is the same as what I have written earlier, just that radially outward is R cap. But R cap is not easy to calculate every time, because R vector is a simple thing. To find R cap, what should you do? You must take R vector and divide it by R magnitude. So often R vectors are easy to calculate, so therefore we write Coulomb's law in this form. K Q1 Q2 by R cube into R vector. Okay. Now this will give you the answer for the force completely. Whether Q1 and Q2 are positive, negative, doesn't matter. This will give you the answer, because Q1, Q2 sign you must use with the correct sign, and then the R vector. Remember, the R vector is from the source to the target. That is important. Suppose I said that is the source, this is the target. It's my choice, right? That means I'm interested in the force on Q1. If I'm interested in the force on Q1, the force is going to be, let's say, that way, then the R vector is no longer that R vector. For this formula, the R vector you must use is this R vector. R vector is always from the source to the target charge. Okay, so R cap will be this direction. Everything has got reversed. The formula will still be valid, but with the new R vector and the new R cap vector. Keep that in mind. R vector is always from the source charge to the target charge. So we can write F vector as K Q1 Q2 by R cube into R vector, or you can write it as K Q1 Q2 by R square into R cap. But whenever you use this, remember that you must use Q1 Q2 with the correct sign, and you must also make sure R vector is from the source to the target.